Well, it's the end of the year again, and students are dangerously low on flex. SUTV's Luke Martin finds out just how far a hungry student will go to get fed.
It is the lifeblood of the student. It is the key to survival at Shippensburg. It is flex, and students are running low on this vital resource.
They're kind of like being more precautious of what they're buying, and they're kind of making sure they have enough to get them through finals week.
That is, if they even have any left. Most students have already run out due to the stores like Quiznos and the Cub store that only accept flex, forcing them to take a more barbaric approach.
Now I just get whatever meal deals they offer, really, or I go to Reisner.
I guess eat at home, and because I won't have any flex to spend here.
Just Cub Burger, everyday meal deal.
Simply horrifying what students would do to eat. But we talked to one student who didn't just have no flex, but no meals as well. We'd like to mention that the following footage may be too graphic for young viewers.
I've been scrounging for food. I even look around campus to see whenever I see a squirrel, all I can think about is getting in, putting it on a pan and eating it. But I don't know what I would ever do if I actually ever caught one. I don't know if I would just like eat it right there or like take it home and grill it. But yeah, that's about what I'm thinking right now. It's not that I would eat an animal, it's that I will do whatever it takes to survive.
You'd never ever think about eating a person, right?
No. No.
Dan assured our crew that he would be all right, would be able to find something to eat somehow.
So in this crisis, where people are losing their flex, it's at least good to know that they're not losing their humanity. For SUTV News, I'm Luke Martin.
Thing is, Dan Winnick is standing right over here. Thank you, Luke. We hope you make a speedy recovery after that nearly fatal run-in with Daniel. Whoa. How far reporters will go, huh?
I know.
When we come back, go with us behind the scenes of the SUTV newsroom, and Casey Peel is here with your weekend weather forecast.
And Brad Smith strolls down sports memory lane. But before we go, the Slate will have a new editor-in-chief for next year. Carissa Llewellyn is here to introduce us.
Fantastic. I mean, I gave it 110%. I know she'll give it 120 next year.
It feels pretty great. I'm very excited for next year. A little stunned, but I'm going to do my best.
All right, looks like a good day for graduation. Casey, thank you. The 2010-2011 school year is coming to a close, which means Shippensburg University is wrapping up their sports season. Bradley Smith from SUTV Sports reviews some of the highlights from this past year.
Announced that the 2010 season would be his last as the Red Raiders head football coach. And the team made it count at the end of the year, as on homecoming 2010 against the Cheney Wolves, quarterback Steven Adams finds Brian Barley on their first play from scrimmage to get on the board early on. Coach Mack is now the new head football coach at Ship, and he recaps the spring game.
It held off. You know, it rained yesterday, but today it was a better day than I expected, and I'm glad all the alumni and all the Red Raider support came out here today. It's great. It's been a great day.
To men's soccer in the PSAC Championship, the Red Raiders looking for their first PSAC title since 1975. Austin Hiddle eventually getting the ball, and he's going to put it past the keeper to tie the game at 1 against East Stroudsburg, and now we'd have to go to a shootout. The Red Raiders surprise everybody and go on to win. Now look at Lady Raiders basketball on senior day for much renowned senior Casey Gardner against East Stroudsburg, and here's Shauna Wirt to give and go to Casey Gardner early on. And it's just going to be a recurring theme for Gardner today. Gardner finished the game with 28 points and a career-high 7 steals as the Lady Raiders go on to win the final game of the season, 89-75. There's head coach Dave Springer coaching the team up there from the sideline during timeout. Will Royal doing nice work down low here as he did all season, but the Red Raiders were outmatched most of the year. Now to a look at the Red Raiders baseball team in the PSAC opener for the Red Raiders against Bloomsburg. Bottom first, Ben Miller blasts a 3-run homer to left. Red Raiders go on to win that game 7-6 and have currently clinched a PSAC playoff berth. Now to the softball diamond. Chelsea Kendall strikes out the batter there against Mercyhurst, and Chelsea had it on all day. Emily Parkins at the dish and hits it to shallow left, bringing home Dowhauer. The Lady Raiders go on to win 2-1. They await the NCAAs. That is your Shippensburg Sports Review. I'm Bradley Smith.
Thank you, Brad. It was certainly a great year for all the Red Raider athletics.
This school year has seen a lot of changes on campus. Students should look for some more changes to come, some good and not so good. With a look at what to expect for next year, here's Barbara Shindo.
Another year at Shippensburg draws to a close. Students, faculty, and staff can look back at some of this year's accomplishments. With a lot of changes going on, President Rude talks more specifically about the physical changes from construction.
We'll have a full dedication of Huber Art Center in the first week of September in the fall. The Cub, under budget, ahead of schedule.
Students look forward to having their Cub back, but Associate Vice President of Facilities Management, Lance Bryson, looks forward to a more eco-friendly campus.
Now on the Cub, it's going to be silver certifiable for LEED. And so that there's a lot of energy efficiency in there and a lot of sustainability.
Though a new budget cut proposal that came out of Harrisburg earlier this year may throw a wrench into the plans.
Outlook right now, with the 50% cut in state funding, I think that computes to about a 15% cut in our overall expenses, which means we'll have to work harder to drive down the cost of energy.
Mr. Bryson is optimistic about continuing Shippensburg's success with on-campus green initiatives. Barbara Shindo, SUTV News.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's excited for the new Cub.
Most people never get the chance to see what goes on behind the scenes of a news show, but before we leave you tonight, we want to give you that chance. Steph Horvat is here to show us what SUTV News looks like before we get to you.
The busy control room can look overwhelming. The audio board is used to check the sound levels of the talent. The graphics are made and displayed on the computer for the director. The producer makes last-minute calls to make sure the content is on its way. The scripts are edited and printed as the cameras focus and white balance. A minute before show, we dial into Comcast. The floor director cues the talent when to start, and that's just before the show starts. After the show, the director tells the cameras what shots to get while the technical director puts them on air. Tapes are constantly being played and ejected, getting ready for the next package. There is never a time to breathe until the show is over.
I'm Steph Horvat, SUTV News.
Now that was just a normal newscast. With special events like football games, it's even more hectic for the crews. Did you notice Kyle McBain back there doing my tie?
He always has to do your tie.
He wouldn't tie my tie today, so that's why I'm going like this. That's all the time we have for this year. Thank you for tuning in. Rachel, it was a pleasure co-anchoring with you.
I enjoyed.
Good luck graduating.
Thank you. And I'm Rachel Flores saying goodbye and good luck with your finals and have a great summer.
And before we go, I just want to say, you know, everyone watching just sees you and me and our reporters, but this show happens because of our executive producer, Barbara Shindo, who is back in the control room, with help of Amanda Peterson and our general manager, Bubba Smith, plus everyone here running the cameras, the prompter. It's because of them that we're on the air.
So thank you.
Have a great summer. Bye-bye.